Renaissance Unity this beautiful wintry morning, December 15th. Today, Reverend David Byrley will be speaking on, again, our theme has been We're on the Rise, and today is the gift of your service to new life. We want to welcome everybody here, all the people at home watching. And right now, we would like everybody to stand and join us in singing a couple of old songs, a couple old carols, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and O Come All Ye Faithful. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the sky. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. O come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord. Please be seated.
Good morning. I am Pamela Ellison, and I welcome you to Renaissance Unity this morning. Thank you for being with us today, those here in person and those online. We want each one here this morning to know that unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to spirituality. Our teachings are based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. We also want each one here this morning to know that here at Renaissance Unity, we honor the universal truths in all religions, explore these universal truths, and we respect each individual's right to choose their own spiritual path. You are genuinely welcome here, whatever spiritual path you are on. Let us affirm together our first principle. There is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe. God the good, omnipotence. Now let's sing together our first principle.
There is only one presence and one power in the universe. God the good, God the good, God the good omnipotence.
And again, together, we are a dynamic fellowship centered in the active spiritual practice of love, truth, gratitude, and service to others. Is there anyone here with us today for the first time? Well, we welcome all of those of you who are coming back. It's great to be together again and to have this special place we call Renaissance Unity for all of us like-minded souls to journey together. And now, join me as we affirm together our mission statement: transforming lives through a consciousness of love. And now, listen and be with the words of our vision statement. Our vision is an inclusive world where minds, hearts, and hands are connected in raising the global consciousness of love. And now I invite our prayer chaplain, Kim Klein, up to read the daily word.
Good morning, everybody. So let us move our attention to the prayer box on the table by the Christ candle. We affirm that every request will find its answer in perfect order. These prayers are sent to the Unity Prayer Ministry each month. We are then prayed over for 30 days. We are grateful and we know that all is well. On my Advent journey, I abide in love. One of the most beloved verses of Scripture calls me to recognize love as the greatest of spiritual blessings. Today, I will take the words of the Apostle Paul to heart and abide in love everywhere I go. To the marketplace, I spread my warmth with kind interactions with clerks and fellow customers. At meetings, whether work-related or social, I offer words of cheer that greet everyone as a beloved child of God. I express my love in moments of unconditional appreciation to all people. The more I look for reasons to share my love, the more I will find, especially during the Advent season. There are many opportunities to visit, to care, to give. I will choose the ones that fill my heart to overflowing. Today, I will abide in love. And now, faith, hope, and love abide. These things are the greatest, and the greatest of these is love.
Thank you, Kim. The greatest of these is love. So, Christmas through the eyes of Grandma. Here we are in our third week of this series. You know, when I was contemplating this series several weeks back, I was having a conversation with this little birdie, and this little birdie said to me, "You should have Donna give a presentation on Christmas through the eyes of Grandma." So you know when a little birdie talks to you, you should listen. So Donna, would you come up and bless us with Christmas through the eyes of Grandma?
All right, so the title of this is That Intimacy Emerges, Generates Emergence. I wasn't ready for it this early in the service. All right, so I'm going to talk about my demographics, first of all. My grandma, who I see them very often, that's on Larry's side. And then I have 4 biological grandchildren who live in Ohio. And it's 11-year-old twin boys who are identical twins, but they don't look alike. Figure that one out. And they live 7 miles from me. And then I have 23 and 25-year-old grandchildren who live 11 miles from me, which I consider a long trip. However, the church is only 6.7 miles away from them, which gives me peace of mind. So when my twins are at Grandma's house, they almost always put together a stage performance in the basement. And Greg is going to be the MC, the organizer, the coordinator. And Silas will be playing clavinova and most likely doing some dancing. So it's always entertainment, and they are very well organized. They may sell tickets to you, but they allow you to charge it. And they'll also invite you, if you win a contest that they have, you get to perform with them the next time. So when I go to their house, Silas usually turns his head and says, "Hi, Grandma," and then goes back to his video games. And Greg says, before I even get my coat off, "I've got a school test for you, Grandma." And my son says, "Don't worry, I've already taken the test, and I think I passed it." So, and then after that, he wants to show me something that he has organized, the canned goods down in the basement storage area, or the books that he has alphabetized. And then I say, do you want to organize the DVDs too? So we have a lot in common. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. Now, I think that it's possible that all four of them are introverts, but at least three are. And the 23 and 25-year-olds seriously are challenged if they need to be in a group environment, even when it's family that they love. They get tired. So for today's example of intimacy generates emergence, I'm going to share what the little birdie told David, which was that on November 22nd, we knew that my granddaughter, 25-year-old Michaela, was not going to be able to be at Thanksgiving, and she asked me if I would just like to hang out. Sure, I love hanging out. She and I have had a connection from the time of her birth, when I first saw her and she first heard my voice. There is a story behind that, but that's another time, so I can stay within my time limits here. But that close connection has allowed us to have an intimacy and conversation, and I think it's easier for grandmas to get the grandkids to tell us anything and everything, to make a safe place for them. That's the goal. We now understand unconditional love. So on November 22nd, Michaela drove over to the house. I sent Larry out. He had to make a date so I could have her to myself. And we sat in the kitchen and we were just chatting for a while. And then we decided that we were going to have Asian fusion food, that she'd never heard of Asian fusion, for takeout. So we picked that up. And then after we ate, and we're chatting, of course, all of this time, then we have a tradition of playing cards or games. And it's usually Uno or Racco. So I asked her which she would like, and she chose Racco. And we played that for a number of rounds. We changed the rules. We were bantering about. And I said after a while, because we kept changing what the total was that you would win, so who do we want to win at that time or lose? And I said, Michaela, honey, we've been together for quite a while, and I know that you're an introvert and might need some time for yourself. So would you like to text your friends? Or, she had told me about a new communication platform where some new friends have come on and they get together and just talk about whatever topic they want at the time. And she stopped for a moment and then said, would you like to meet my friends on the communication platform? And I may have said it out loud, but if not, I thought, wait a minute, I'm like 50 years older than they are. What are they going to want to hang out with us? And she goes, well, no, we'll let them see what we're doing playing Racco. So she she calls in, she gets them, they're interested, and she set up her cell phone so that they could see her cards and help her, little cheater. And anyway, we could hear them talking about what their subject was. They would tap into us for a while, and Michaela and I are just pretending like they're not there at times, having our regular conversations, and then one of the girls says, oh, Michaela, we see where you get your sense of humor. So anyway, it was this wonderful experience, unplanned, and because of that intimate connection that we have to begin with, and it was an emergence for both of us. So I'm just sharing grandmas. Isn't that one of the wonders of the title that we have and the role that we get to play? It's hard to beat that. Thank you.
So as we get ready for meditation, if you kind of sit up straight in your chair and settle in, Bob and I are going to tell you a story about some quiet, silent nights. And there's going to be a part in this song where we get to Silent Night, and we hope you'll join us.
Voice in the distance, call in the night. On wind you enfold us, you speak of the light. Gentle on the ear you whisper softly, rumors of a dawn so embracing. sing. Breathless love awaits darkened souls. Soon we will know of the morning. Spirit among us, shine like the star, your light that guides shepherds and kings from afar. Shimmer in the sky, so empty, lonely, rising in the warmth of your sun's love. Star unknowing of night and day, Spirit, we wait for your loving Son. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Please join us on this verse. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Silent night. Holy night. The night of the simple things. That's what Grandma sees. She sees that emergence is in the simple things. In the joy that comes off her through this wisdom gained of the simplicity of the heart is so beautiful. So just bring your attention to your heart. And with your attention on your heart, I invite you to just begin to breathe in and out of the chest, in and out of the heart region. Just keeping your attention there. Now I invite you to bring your hand to your heart and just continue to breathe in and out of the heart. Just in this moment of the gratitude for simple things. Maybe it's with your grandchildren. Maybe it's with your partner. Maybe it's with a friend. Just be in the feeling of the joy of simple things. Just be in that feeling that the simple things bring. In and out of the heart. Spirit, we are so grateful for the grandmas and grandpas that have shared with us, for seeing what they see. That this is a treasure. Our youth, our friends, our partners, our relationships, our church family. These are special. I'm just going to leave you a minute to just be with this music and just continue with that feeling and breathing in and out of the chest, in and out of the heart. So, Spirit, we are so grateful for the power of intimacy. So grateful for this awareness that it's a generative act. And from this, new life emerges. So as you begin to come back to this place and this space, just hold that wisdom together throughout this holiday season. It's in the simple things. In the name and through the power of that Spirit that dwells in all our hearts. Amen. Jan is the best. If you ever want to ask for somebody to create an intimate space, ask Jan Patetta. Yeah. So thank you, Rose, and thank you, Bob, and all the RU band. You truly created Glenn and Ed truly created a very intimate start to this morning. Would you agree? Yes. You know, so as I said earlier, welcome to the third week of this Christmas series entitled Christmas Through Grandma's Eyes. Haven't you been able to just witness that as each one of them, and Grandpa was up here last week, just witness the joy in them with these special relationships. Christmas through the eyes of grandmas. You know, there's one thing about a grandma, that is that a grandma loves all their grandchildren just the same, right? Yeah, they all love them just the same. You know, but I heard about these two boys. And the older one was beginning to doubt it a little bit. He wasn't so sure about it anymore. And so the younger one said, boy, I can't wait to go to Grandma's house this year for Christmas. And the older one said, I'm not going. He said, what do you mean you're not going? He says, well, every Christmas now, you get a really nice present, and all I get is a card. I'm not going. And he says, oh, come on. So, you know, he says, I tell you what, this year Grandma is going to get you a really, really nice gift. And he says, well, I'll bet you she doesn't. He said, well, the younger one says, I bet you $100 $100 that Grandma's going to get you a really good gift. He said, you're on. So they go to Grandma's, and sure enough, they get there, and Grandma's got 2 gifts. So she gives the young one the gift, and he opens it up, and it's a video game he just wanted for Christmas. And then the older boy opens his, and he opens it, and it's this absolutely beautiful sweater. And the younger one says, okay, buddy, pay up. And he says, I'm not paying you a dime. He says, what do you mean you're not paying me a dime? He lifts into the box, he lifts it up, he lifts up that sweater, and he says, you see that? I got a cardigan. I got a cardigan. I got a cardigan. Oh, Christmas gifts from Grandma. Christmas gifts from Grandma. I like to start this morning with opening 2 precious gifts from Grandpa Charlie, or Papa Charlie, we call him in Unity, right? Papa Charlie, who's the co-founder of Unity together with the truly wise one, Myrtle Fillmore. The first gift comes from this book that so many of us have read in the Unity movement, this book called The 12 Powers. How many have read this book? Yeah, this is a very common book. Next week we're actually going to do at the service, we're going to have a 12 Powers candle lighting service. So I'm just kind of setting the stage this week for that and really exploring and continuing to explore this whole idea that intimacy generates emergence. 2 as 1 generates emergence. So we've been visiting that for several weeks now, that Jesus came and Grandma has come to bring the feminine energy to demonstrate the union of the masculine and feminine energies within to generate Christ consciousness on earth. To generate Christ consciousness on earth. Did you know that is the Holy Grail? That's it. That's what the Holy Grail is. Both Charles Fillmore and Jesus' grandmother Anna said it. When we invite our feminine energy with our masculine, it's the Holy Grail. So let's look at this chapter to start off with. It's called Regenerative Love. Now remember, we're in this age now where we're moving from the love of power to the love of power to the power of love united with wisdom. Now, did you hear in that word that Charles Fillmore in this book, he doesn't just say love, he says regenerative love, right? It's a generative act. It generates emergence when we bring it together with wisdom. In the scriptures, you see that in the story, in the Christmas story, where Mary, who is love, is united together with the angel Gabriel, actually. And Gabriel is wisdom. Boy, I brought all kinds of books this morning, so you guys are in good shape. From the Unity movement, from Charles Fillmore. Let me read to you what Charles Fillmore says about Gabriel. We all know that's how the Christmas story starts, right? With this intimacy between Gabriel and Mother Mary. Gabriel, it could be referred to as the masculine and wisdom phase of the divine in man. The masculine contacts the love phase of man's spiritual nature and causes man to become conscious of the Christ in himself, to the end that the individual may bring the Christ into expression and manifestation, 2 as 1. So now let's visit this Charles Fillmore's section on regenerative love. He says, the union of the masculine and feminine forces in man, in woman, in each of us, is the most potent in the affectional nature, and that these forces should endure and never be separated by external causes was laid down by the law of Jesus. He goes on to say, this man, this woman, or this 2 as 1 is the only begotten. It is the I am that I am that sets us free. It is the Christ. It is the Christ. I don't know about you, but as I've journeyed through Unity, I haven't heard this message much. That it's actually what Jesus came for is to bring that feminine into the age, to bring it from the heart into the age, and then to have the heart begin to inform the mind to bring this new wisdom on earth. Yeah, the masculine and the feminine as one is why he came. And it's why Grandma and Grandpa and all us wise elders, and I heard you say it, Donna, it's why we've come. It's taken us these lifetimes to learn how to demonstrate that. Would you agree that you know that better now than you did years ago? Yes. There's something about Grandma's heart that brings this wisdom that just sees, wow, the simple things are so, so powerful. So let's open the second gift. The second gift is there is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence. And the question this morning is, does that have anything at all to do with grandmas? There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good. Is the Christmas story the story of the law of one? The law of one. Is it the story of the law of polarities, of two as one? Is it the story, ultimately, of oneness? Let's look close at this journey. So the story begins with Gabriel, wisdom, coming to Mother Mary, love. And one thing we know, if you talk to the grandmas and the grandpas here this morning, they will say to you, one of the things I would love to see is my own grandchild surpass me in consciousness. Is that fair? Is that fair? Yeah, if we're in our heart. That's what we desire. So what happens next? That Mary, who was informed by wisdom, becomes the wisdom in the story, and she's together with Jesus through his life, nurturing him, right? Nurturing that emergence. And then what happens? When Jesus sees it, he meets Mary Magdalene. And here again, we have love and wisdom. The whole story is telling us about the union of love and wisdom. Oops, I just spilled a glass of water, and it may be telling us about baptism as well. So, it's all good. So if you notice a message of wisdom, love, this is the core of the unity teachings. Would you agree? Yeah, we've heard that for many, many years. In our book, Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, A Message of Wisdom and Love, there is this most interesting story of the life of Jesus and his mother, father, grandmother, and their intimacy. So Jesus is gone. He leaves for 7 years. He goes to India to study. Okay? He's being prepared. He actually meets the Babaji, who Grandmother Anna had met before he did. She knew she was to be committed to that journey when he left, right? So she remained in prayer for him. She remained in contemplation for him. She remained in meditation for him to continue to support his emergence. So here he comes back after 7 years, and he comes back and they have this big party. They throw this huge party, and then after the celebration is over, Jesus gathers people together, and this is what he says to them. He said, "My beloved family and friends, into whose presence I am returned after a long journey, I am now of a man's stature." You know, in the scriptures it says Jesus grew in stature in years and in wisdom, right? Wisdom. He goes on to say, "I am now of a man's stature, and now after my time in India, the law of one does now rest in me." I am returned from India, and unity's first principle now rests in me. I can see it now in a greater way. I'm at peace now in a greater way, that it's all one. It's just as my grandmother demonstrated for me. It's just as my mother and father demonstrated for me. Everything is one, and nothing but nothing but nothing is against me. Everything is for me. The perceived against me, I now see is actually for me. The consciousness of all things and all polarities working together are one, now rest in me. Have you noticed that these polarities are always at work in your life? right? And it's when we sink into that and we rest in that and we're in a conscious moment with that, noticing where it's taking us, that something new and amazing emerges in our consciousness. I see now, like Grandma sees, like she sees through her eyes, that all is one. All of it. That now rests in me. The intimate union of that love consciousness informing our minds, forming our wisdom, emerges Christ consciousness. That's the Holy Grail. That's the Holy Grail. And grandmas come, wise elders come, we all come to demonstrate that's our role. That's our role. We've spent our life resting into this truth. We've been through our trials. We've been through our times. And we know that once I go back to my heart, I see the way forward. Is that not so? We've learned, I got to get back to my heart and let it inform my mind and bring love and wisdom together. I bring these two opposites together as one, and I see a way forward that is of a higher consciousness. You know, it was Thursday night. Is David Kramer here this morning? I don't see him out there. But anyway, the last 2 Thursday nights, we went through this session together with David from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it was a series called Love Your Body. Love Your Body. And I would like to read, David actually, he poured his heart and soul in that. If you're listening, David, thank you so much. He actually typed out all that was in this presentation from Dr. Joe. I'm positive that he will get a copy of that to you. And it is so strong around what we're talking about this morning. The work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, at its core, is this exact same thing. It's no different. He brings it in scientific. He's actually bringing it into what's happening in the body. But it all comes from the emergence of love and wisdom. So let me read to you what David read to us that night and what Dr. Joe says. The heart is where opposites merge and come together. The heart is our center of wholeness. He said if you take opposites, this is Dr. Joe, and you bring them together, you no longer have opposites. What you have is fullness. What did Jesus says? I came so that you might have life to the full. To the full. And he came to demonstrate the way of the heart so that we can demonstrate the way of the heart for all. He goes on to say, and from the heart or love center, you are more caring, kind, selfless, giving, and you tend to want to serve more from this consciousness of love. He goes on to say, the heart has its own consciousness, and when we live from there, it begins to inform the brain. Go back to the heart first when you're contemplating your next steps. That's always the place to go. That's why we've come. That's unity. That's what unity is. It's this union of love and wisdom. That's the Holy Grail. So next week, we're going to have this 12-power service, and we're just going to allow the music and the candles and the intimate setting, and we're going to dim the lights, and we're just going to work with, where is it that I may be out of balance in polarities, right? If you break down the 12 powers, you'll see that there are actually 6 pairs, okay? And so we're going to say, am I out of balance with love or wisdom or faith and strength or spiritual power and imagination or understanding and will or divine order and life or elimination and zeal? We're just going to begin to be in that quiet space and allow the Holy Spirit to just inform us, where is it that I can now begin to balance these and unite these as one for the emergence of Christ consciousness in my life in a greater way? Be sure to be here. It's a powerful service. It's a very powerful service. Dwelling in the Holy Grail of the divine feminine heart and having it unite and inform your mind's wisdom, not as a separate mind. That gets us in trouble. Does it not? Not as a separate mind. That gets us in trouble. But when these two come together and you have an informed mind, it is what brings the Christ consciousness to earth. Grandma's lifetime is designed to come to rest in the law of one. And she does it so beautifully. She does it so beautifully as you listen to Deborah and to Tim, Grandpa Tim, and to Donna. The thing that I noticed most when I listened to them, they all brought up the simple things. And when they brought up the simple things, you could physically, literally see the light. Would you agree? Yes, yes. Grandma has come to bring Christ consciousness so that she can be surpassed. So that she can be surpassed. Grandma came to demonstrate unity's first principle and the law of one. When there is intimacy of a mind informed by the heart and they are one, something new emerges. That's the grand design. That's the grand design. So, I'd like to close this talk series. Next week we're going to continue with this theme that intimacy generates, it's a generative act, emergence. Okay, so if the musicians want to come forward, the way I would like to close the talk series, last time I spoke, we visited the last thing that Anna said in this book, but I want to visit the last thing that the author says in this book. This comes from Claire Hartsong. So she's closing the book, and she says, equally present from the beginning was Anna's new paradigm of egalitarian unity and the balancing of polarities. My job has been to bring the new model out of obscurity and into clarity and grounded application, and that's our job in unity. We wouldn't be called unity if it wasn't so. For me, that's what unity means. For me, that's what it means. Gratefully throughout, it has been our presence calling forth Anna's wisdom and love that has sustained to yourself. May my example inspire you, my friend, and bring forth your story and highest destiny. As we bring love and wisdom together, we will inspire others to their highest destiny. Namaste. Namaste.
It came upon a midnight clear, those glorious songs of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. With all these times of sin and strife, the world has suffered too long. Beneath the angel's voice has grown 2,000 years of wrong. And men of war with men can't hear the love songs that they sing. So stop this noise, you men of war, and hear the angels sing. And they're singing at midnight, clear at midnight, clear at midnight, at midnight, midnight. They're singing at midnight, singing so clear at midnight. Hear them singing so clear at midnight. They're singing so clear, singing to us at midnight. At midnight, hear them singing at midnight. They're singing so clear at midnight, so clear at midnight, so clear at midnight, midnight, clear.
I heard somebody say, wow. Wow. Yeah. You know, even Hall & Oates know that if you want something new to emerge, it comes through intimacy. Always. No exception. No exception. There is no exception. So if the authors, I was going to say, you guys authors too? Authors, ushers, beautiful souls. You know, I was in the back, as I've shared with you before the service, I go back there and I pray and I look at Jesus and I say my prayer is that I be helpful and that I be useful. That's my prayer. That I be helpful and I be useful. And so I looked down and there was this little Christmas booklet and I opened it up and it goes to this poem on love. It says, light every window up with love and let your love shine through that they who walk outside may share the blessed light with you. Then will the rooms be filled with joy and be bright, and peace the heart be blessed, and Christ himself will enter into your Christmas guest. Wow. Can somebody say wow to that one? Wow. So with that knowing that we're called to go to the heart and let it inform the mind, and we're about that mission, let's just together, divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Freely I give, and freely I receive.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us with thy perfect light.
And in the intimacy and the appreciation, we wouldn't have these intimate moments if it wasn't for Ed and for Glenn this morning. Would you just send them a namaste? Namaste. We so appreciate you. We so appreciate all the ways that each one serves with their gifts from their heart. In the name and through the power of the living Christ, we're going to emerge something really great here at Renaissance Unity. Are you in? I'm in. Namaste.
What a wonderful lesson and what wonderful music. Thank you so much. Talk about bringing wisdom and love together and coming from the heart. And we know that we're all what they call androgynous being, meaning that we have both masculine and feminine. So we both can come from our heart, opens our heart, and then to combine it with that wisdom, because we tend to sometimes come from the wisdom aspect of our of our being. So we have to balance the two so that that Christ consciousness can arise within us. I would like, or excuse me, if you would like prayer support today, Kim Klein, and I might need prayer support today. Kim Klein is our our prayer chaplain for today, and she'll be glad to meet with you in our chapel at the end of the service. Today is Let's Make the Sanctuary Christmas Pretty Day. So please join us after the service for fun, and we would like to ask a couple of gentlemen to please stay to help us with the decorations. They're already out for you over to the side. So if we have two gentlemen who are willing to stay to help the committee, we'd appreciate it. The Reiki Healing Circle will meet after service today with Reiki Masters Kim Klein and Carol Murphy at 12:15 in the children's classroom. On December 22nd, we will have the 12 Powers candle lighting service at 10:30. I encourage your attendance at this meaningful service of light that is sure to put you in the Christmas mood and to provide inspiration as well as you bring forth these 12 powers that reside within us. Reverend David has scheduled a Zoom meeting on Monday, December 15th from 8 o'clock to 8:30 p.m. for those reading affirmations at the 12 Powers service on December 22nd. And underscore this, be sure and check your email for the Zoom invitation with the password and all you need in order to join that meeting. Pardon me? Tomorrow's the 6th. Oh, yes. Tomorrow is the 16th. Okay. Oh, all right. And I didn't catch it because today is the 15th. Okay. All right. So tomorrow the 16th. Check your emails. Please sign up in the social hall for any upcoming events that you plan to attend, as well as volunteer opportunities that may speak to you. This concludes our service. Please stand and join for the peace song and then our prayer for protection. And now, join me in affirming what we know to be the truth in unity, our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Have a great day.